Hi, welcome to the Weekend Investing Daily Bites. This is May 27th, Thursday. Let's take a look at the markets. Markets were all positive today. There was a huge blip in the afternoon, but it was made up by the end of the day. Nifty was up 40% in all, but small caps and Nifty Next 50 were doing well. In terms of the sectors, PSU banks and private banks both were on fire. Banking index was up more than a percent. IT continued from yesterday, up more than a percent. Metals have been weak and they were down again. For the week, PSU banks have done really well, 7.2%, up 18% for the month. All in all, many of these sectors, the PSU bank sector, the metal sector, they've done quite well in this last 1 month. In terms of the weekend investing, small cases, MI25 picked up from sluggish earlier part of the week, up 1.3%. MI50 was up, and MIMT all cap has been up. MIATH has been a bit sluggish lately. The sugar stocks in the portfolio have dragged it a bit. Overall, however, for financial year, the picture is reasonably good on most uh, small cases. Today's topic is on volatility, and we're talking about some fundamentals about volatility. Volatility is not understood very well mostly, but volatility is basically a measure of rate of fluctuations in the price of a security over time, and then a person can associate risk with it, and the level of volatility can basically tell you about the risk of that security, and once you measure that volatility, you are able to then predict in the future based on the historical volatility how the risk returns may pan out for you in the future. But we'll go deeper into this. So basically, the topic is how to make volatility your friend, so get to know about what is volatility. So we will go through a very quick exercise. So these are four classes with 10 students each, and these are the final exam marks for these 10 students in each of these classes. In class A, you can see that the marks obtained range from 10 to 100. So there is 10, there's 30, there's 40, there's 100, all over the place. In class B, the range is still 50 to 70. In class C, it is between 55 and 65. And in class D, again, it is highly ranging from 5 to 100. So which class is looking more predictable, or has more stability of results? That will give you an idea about what we're talking about here. So the surprising part is that the average marks for each of the class is 60, right? So even though the dispersion of the marks was huge here from 5 to 100, the average is 60. So averages can be very misleading at times. Just knowing an average may not, even a CAGR for that matter, over a 10-year period, if you're looking at a CAGR, it is not telling you anything about how it may have behaved for 9 years, and then 1 year may have the entire gain for that 10 years. So CAGR is again an average. So averages can be misleading, although they are a good tool to use. But along with the average, you need to also see the volatility. So volatility is measured by standard deviation. So standard deviation is just a mathematical measure of volatility. So standard deviation tells you how much is the volatility around the average. So class B is ranging 8 points around the average. Class C is ranging 4 points around the average. Class A is ranging 31 points around the average. Class D is ranging 57 points. So it is telling you an idea about the average and how it is behaving around the average. So you can see in this chart also, that the best class here, class C, has like a bell-shaped curve, which is statistically correct, and it basically has low fat tails. So there are no, the farther you go away from the mean, you are not really having any fat tails here. So basically, everything is concentrated towards the average or the mean, and what that tells you is the quality of that return. If this were 4 portfolios and returns of each stock, then portfolio C is telling you that the uniformity of volatility in this portfolio is the best amongst the 4. All 4 gave the same average returns portfolios, but C gave you the least standard deviation. So in any 1 year, if these were, let's say 10 years of data for each portfolio, then in any 1 year, the movement from the average was the least. So you do not have sleepless nights, so basically Bitcoin versus a Nifty versus gold. Basically Bitcoin has a lot of volatility, Nifty has still less, and gold has even lesser, right? So, and obviously returns will also be very different according to volatility. So let's go deeper. So as I said, volatility is a measure of risk of a stock or a portfolio, and a metric that you can use. And we can go to more depths to talk about Sharpe ratio, etc. But that may be for another class. But it can denote, or it can tell you about the stability of that particular portfolio or stock. So let's just take more examples. So portfolio A has 30% returns, portfolio B has 30% returns, but the volatility of portfolio A is 10%, volatility of portfolio B is 30%. Why will you choose a portfolio which has higher volatility if the returns are the same, right? So you will choose A. Let's say now let's change the equation a bit. Returns are 20% for A, but volatility is low, 10%. For portfolio B, returns are 25%, volatility is 30%. How to calculate now? Earlier example, the returns were the same, so it was easy. Now it is different. So actually you will need to use Sharpe ratio to calculate this, but let's go and see an example of how this has actually worked for our portfolios. So this is an example of, let me just see if I can make it larger. Yeah. So this is again small case 100 versus MI25 example. What we can see here is that I've listed the last 5 years of data for small case and for index and for the MI25. There are about 1271 number of days that we have considered. What we can see here is that in small case MI25, the daily return is concentrated around 0.5% to 2.5%, whereas the small cap index has a much wider range of average daily return. So average daily return of small cap index is 0.06%, but average daily return of MI25 is 0.14%. So more than double actually. The volatility, however, in small cap index is 1.37%, whereas in MI25 it is only 0.65%, so less than half. So returns are more than double, volatility is less than half. Annualized volatility is obviously also much lower. And you can see it in this fashion that biggest loser in the index is 13%. In MI25 it is 5%. Biggest gain is 5% here, and in MI25 it is 2.9%. So we are losing much less even on the larger sort of wider basis. So if MI25 is this red chart and the small cap index is the blue chart, you can see that MI25, the average daily return is concentrated in the middle of the chart. It's like a very nice bell curve with no tails really, and the small cap index is however distributed over this entire period, entire area of plus 5% to minus 2%. So you are getting better returns and lower volatility. So in terms of Sharpe ratio, that would have been very, very good. So this is how you can compare two asset classes or two stocks or two portfolios in terms of better volatility, better returns to volatility metrics. Now, same thing if we look at NG 50/50 portfolio. Uh, so average daily returns here in Nifty are 0.06%. However, if we add gold to Nifty in an equal basis, the average daily returns reduces to 0.05%. So on returns basis, we are slightly lower, right? But look at the volatility. From volatility of 1.15% daily, we've come down to 0.64%. So there is a trade-off of risk of returns by a marginal amount, but there's a huge gain in terms of lowering of volatility. So you will see that the Nifty chart is volatile, but NG 50/50 chart is almost very smooth because of lower volatility. So we can see here NG 50/50 again. All the returns daily averages are concise and packed together without having too much of fat tails here. But the Nifty is more spread out in terms of the average. So here also you can see. I think we have a table here that. So in 1271 days, you can see that the NG 50/50 is having all the big chunk of days in terms of the range of average returns right here from 0.5% to 2%, whereas Nifty 50 is more spread out and it has more of volatility there. So these were the two comparisons that I had. Let's go back to our sheet. 1 second. Okay. So how we would pick here? Actually, we would pick here by dividing the returns with volatility simply. But actually, you should do a excess returns, but for simplicity, we can just do dividing the returns, and we are seeing that when we're comparing these two, the portfolio A will make much more sense between the two of these portfolios. So this is all a very short basic primer, although I would have liked to delve deeper into Sharpe ratio, etc. But with considering that daily bite should stay very short, this is just a very introductory primer. So today we are having the last day for putting in your questions for the upcoming Saturday webinar, where we will be talking to experts from small case to resolve all small case related platform related queries. So please send us your queries through the Telegram channel. The Telegram channel has a form there. Please fill that form, and we'll soon announce the link for the Saturday webinar. We are also happy that you are liking these daily bites. So please keep sending us your suggestions, feedbacks, criticisms. They are all very, very welcome. And that's all I have in this bite today. So goodbye and good luck.